for his 26 years with us and all that he's done and accomplished. What an incredible career. So first, before we get into that, I just want to thank Janice here, Tim's wife, and she's got a little gift there on the table on behalf of everybody. Jan, thank you. 26-year career, a lot of late nights, a lot of travel. There's a lot of sacrifices that take place. And so your support has meant the world to all of us. And so on behalf of everybody, thank you for all of that. I know Tim could not have done it without you, so that's really important. So thank you. And then there's some other guests here. Tim, do you just want to introduce them really quick, or Jan?
Sure.
And then we'll talk a little bit about Tim.
Sure. So Janet, and then everybody knows Joey. John Sullivan, good friend, and he's an executive with BCDM, and now he has his own business. My sister Sandy, and then Marcia, a wonderful friend of Janet's, and then Elizabeth. You're not a guest; you're just an employee. Who else do we have here? Joe behind Randy. So Joe. Joe hired me, and then he retired in 2008. And what wonderful stories that we have. So it's Joe. Michaela, well, you're not a guest. You also work here. Thank you for coming down. I appreciate that. And Michaela, we were cubies the first time in the same cube. And then you were in electrical at one time, so thank you. My goodness. I'm buzzing through here, and then we have Randy Ness. He just retired recently, so he's a familiar face. And Dan Smith, gosh, I've worked with Dan for my 26 years. He's the president of ECO, and he's had my back for 26 years of being in the business. And then Richard Cox, a great friend, and I worked with Richard for a lot of years with Johnson Controls. Yeah. And who else do we have here? Is that about it? Oh, Tom Hicks over here. Yeah, Tom and I, he ran our equipment group for a lot of years, and he was like that guy who had the excitement and the funding behind our HEO.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
Not before they figured it out.
Yeah, that was a really big deal.
There's another guy in shorts walking in right now.
Another guy with shorts walking in. Hey, Mike. There's Mike Lawyer. He's project manager of forever at HDR. Mike and I spent a lot of time in Columbus, Georgia together when I first started.
Tell the story yet?
No, I haven't told him any stories. Maybe you want to keep it that way, Mike. I don't know. Anybody else here? I think that's our guests.
Well, good. Well, to all the guests, welcome. Thank you for being here. So I got to know Tim in 2005 when I started. At the time, Tim was a senior electrical engineer, and as he mentioned, he moved into Joe's role in 2008. But my first engagement with Tim was incredible. I was brand new at HDR, and getting to sit down and see how he approached healthcare design and just dissecting problems and coming up with just creative solutions and taking care of clients. Everybody when you start at a place like HDR, you gravitate towards those individuals that you can really learn from. And Tim was definitely one of those individuals for me and for probably a lot of people in the room here today. So thank you for that. And Tim, I think as you moved into section manager, I know at the time there was quite a few retirements that took place, and there was a lot of folks here that are still here and inherited a bit of a young section and brought in a lot of new faces. And just watching you mentor those individuals over the years and yet today, that took a lot of effort. And for the individuals here that have managed folks, when you get a lot of new faces in, that effort is pretty hard to really estimate at that time. And how he handled it was just nothing but professionalism. So, and then just over the years, Tim, a few years back moved into a principal role and really started to drive things to our clients. and understand, you know, what the value that we can bring to the marketplace. And I tell you what, anything that anybody ever asked Tim to do, he completely excelled at. I mean, I've never been, you know, I've never seen somebody take something, you know, drive it not only to completion, but then figure out new ways to really, you know, come up with new solutions, whether it's for our clients or getting other staff involved. And the latest example is probably just around, you know, getting involved with the cybersecurity team and Visitor Cyber. And for those who don't know, Tim has written papers and ASHI monographs and gotten involved with committees and helped drive the process here at HDR. Spoke at conferences and got in front of clients and is really starting to drive this, and it's really starting to make an impact on what we're doing. And Tim was one of the first guys who started a fellowship program at HDR a few years ago. Was one of the first individuals to win that fellowship and did that for a year, and you know, has really just done, you know, nothing but awesome stuff the last couple of years. So all of your professional accolades speak for themselves, Tim. You know, but you know, what I appreciate most about Tim is just, you know, his you know, unwavering faith. He's a great guy. You're genuine. You know, in all the years that I've known you, I've never seen you, you know, speak to anybody or treat anybody with disrespect. And you know, it's a tough industry. It's stressful. It's challenging. And how you've carried yourself and handled yourself, you know, I'll never forget it. And it's an example for all of us. So thank you for everything you've done. 26 years is an incredible career. This is one hell of a celebration. Can't thank you enough. We're going to miss you, but thank you. So, I don't know if you want to say a few words. I'm not going to put you on the spot. In the meantime, while you think about that, I suspect there could be a couple stories here in the crowd. My part's done, so you all, we'll let Tim on the floor, and please share whatever you feel like sharing. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Andy. There's like 3 points. One point was, you know, in my email that I sent out to most everybody here, you know, I identified that time is relentless, and that's something that Phil Jorgensen, for the people who remember him, he was a structural engineer, and when he retired, I asked him, do you have any advice? And he goes, time is relentless. That's what he told me. Boy, was that true. And so right now, you know, people have asked me, you know, what are you going to do? And so it's really easy. We have a granddaughter in Connecticut right now, and so we've been spending about a week every month or 6 weeks out there. So spending that time with her and not feeling guilty about not being interrupted by work or feeling guilty about work, which is something I'm looking forward to. And then second thing is my I knew that was going to happen. So anyway, my mom and dad are memory care now, and so I'm just going to spend more time with them. Let's see, got to get over that. You know, another item is that people ask me, you know, all this experience is walking out the door, you know, we can't really let that happen. And you know, I spent my entire career trying to transition plan and training people underneath me so that I could do what I wanted to do. So you just have an incredible base of people here who are gonna, as soon as I leave, you are gonna see stars pop up everywhere, and people who will see an opportunity and do things that you really didn't expect. So you got a lot of wonderful, a tremendous amount of opportunity. I'm looking around and looking at the people who I hired as interns over here, and it's really special to see you guys thrive. And looking at the lighting design group, and which really has powerful legs, and the technology group, which is getting its legs with the data center work, and then of course just the electrical design and those big three, those three pups. I hired Andrew. He was my first full-time hire, and you know, so he wasn't even hired yet when I took over. Andy Wilson, he was a 6-month engineer, and Travis was,
here for 6 months, and look at those 3 guys now. They're leading the electrical section from that youth perspective. So, really something. I want to thank my wife. Further to what Andy said, as far as support. Joe, you've been designing with me for the longest amount of time, and Dan from the contractor side, you've covered my back for the longest amount of time too. So as far as longevity, you know, you 3 have that award. Gosh, I'm not sure if there's anything else to really talk about now, other than thank you for coming. It's really special that you're here. So thanks. So, coolers are still available. Where's Mike Lawyer? Mike? Mike's somewhere where he shouldn't be. Mike, you didn't have a Columbus, Georgia story that you want to share? Probably not.
I don't know, it's makes the crowd all.
We had a lot of fun down there. It was quite a client. And those were the early days too.
Yeah, go ahead, I'll do color.
No, that's okay. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming. Please enjoy yourself.